Tonight, we've got new information about a former substitute teacher charged with a child sex crime involving a teenager under his care. Yesterday, we reported he worked at more than a dozen schools in the Fort Zumwalt school district. Now, 5 on Your Side has confirmed that Ryan Zull worked in at least 3 different school districts. St. Peter's police say they want to know if there are more victims. Our Megan Kernan broke this story and joins us now after digging into Ryan Zull's background. Megan.
Mike, since our story aired last night, St. Peter's police say they've received calls from concerned individuals. Tonight, police say their concern is Zull's access to kids and young adults at multiple schools.
We definitely need to make sure that there's no other victims out there.
Ryan Zull of St. Peter's was charged last week with first-degree endangering the welfare of a child. Prosecutors allege Zull had care and control of the 17-year-old victim and engaged in a sexual relationship with him.
Where somebody was in a position of control over a minor and who took advantage of that position.
Police say the victim and his mother were living in Zull's home after being evicted.
Mr. Zull became his guardian on paper, took him to doctor's appointments and dentist appointments, which is why this is a law violation. He was in charge of him as far as being a guardian or parent, and then had this inappropriate sexual contact with him.
Zull's employment history is now raising broader concerns. In 2017, he was hired as a substitute teacher in the Fort Zumwalt school district, where officials say he worked at least once at 17 different schools before being fired last Friday. From 2020 to 2024, Zull was employed by the special school district while also working as a teacher and coach at Cross Keys Middle School in the Ferguson-Florissant school district. Officials at all 3 districts say the victim was not a student in their schools, and they currently have no reason to believe any students were involved. Each district also says Zull completed required background checks, including FBI fingerprinting. Court documents show Zull has prior arrests, including assault, harassment, false impersonation of a law enforcement officer, second-degree statutory sodomy, and second-degree domestic assault. Court records show that in 2003, Zull was charged with harassment and sentenced to 90 days in jail. 2 years later, St. Peter's police say he was arrested for impersonating a law enforcement officer after dressing up and identifying himself as an officer at a Subway restaurant.
When it's a minor, it's even more disheartening. And we become concerned that there's other victims out there.
Now, I asked both the Fort Zumwalt and special school districts how Zull was able to pass these background checks and still be hired. Both districts responded saying this is an active investigation and they cannot share any additional information at this time. If you believe your child could be a possible victim of Ryan Zull's, you are asked to call St. Peter's Police at 636-278-2222.